Right. So we have heard and we have seen what China is doing to African brothers. And it's no longer a secret now that there is something that is happening that is not right in China, right? But Julius Malema warned Africans about China long time ago. I think around 2015. So we are just going to go back to fetch that audio and hear what Julius Malema was saying during those times, because it's very wise sometimes.
We thought we have resolved. Everybody else understand that colonialism is bad. Colonialists must be fought. We need to have an African state led by Africans, the economy owned by Africans. As if that is not enough, the Chinese are knocking at the door now. They too looking for some special arrangement to recolonize Africa and do as they wish. And they are actually, it looks like they are going to be worse than what Britain was to us. Because what is worse with them is that they come with labor force. I'm told everything else beautiful now in Zimbabwe, you know, is Chinese owned. And our brothers and sisters are selling on the pavements. It can't be. It can't be. We are looking for new markets. Yes, we are looking for new partners. We are looking for new investors. But let it be done through our own terms as Africans and not through the exploitation of our resources and our people by a new colonizer, because this one projected themselves as better than the previous colonizer. What is even more painful in South Africa, we are told to learn that Chinese language, Mandarin. You are coming into my house, and you tell me I must learn your language, and you came into my house. Visitors must always be humble. It's always a nice thing to learn a new language and many languages. But to just be told, you are going to learn my language, let it be voluntary. But it must be compulsory for you, because you came into my country. You're looking for something, you're looking for my minerals, you're looking for my land. I've got a beautiful land, but I can't hear you. What are you looking for? Go learn my language and tell me what you are looking for. Not for me to go and learn your language so that I can hear what you are looking for from me. It can't be. It has to come to an end. Africa cannot permanently be a subject of superpowers. It has to take its rightful place. It has to fight for its rightful place in the international politics, in the international economy. People must look the direction of Africa for solutions, because we've got the best thinkers. So the EFF is about that. That's what we're trying to spread in Africa. It's so painful to see that there are still African states that pay colonial tax to France. Till to date, they have their reserve banks in France. And we are told that if we're to withdraw those reserve banks in France and withdraw the colonial tax, France will collapse. Because France is what it is because of that colonial tax and the reserve banks that are there from African states. Where is the African leadership to agitate for such change and say, let's show them that they are not better than us. There's nothing special about them. We are a chosen nation because God has given us minerals and beautiful land and mountains and beautiful beaches and sea. They need us. A beautiful weather, much better than this weather you have here in Britain. So what more do we need?
Right, so this is what is happening, right? But what is happening in China is very confusing because more and more we are seeing pictures and videos of people being evacuated, people being mistreated, right? But what is amazing on everything that is happening is the African leaders. There is not even one country that is saying anything right about now. We are on the middle of the pandemic, right? So China is playing the role to give medicines and all these kinds, to donate, in other words, to the African countries. Number one. Number two, China promised Africa to invest, to put in money, something like $60 billion that China is looking to invest in Africa. So that makes Africa looks like a fish in a hook. So each and every president is trying to be silent about what is happening in China concerning African people, because nobody wants to miss the party when this money is being released. As I'm talking, some of this money, I'm sure it was already started investing in African countries. So as a result now, no leader, that's why we are seeing they are trying to deal with the issue in a way that is quiet, in a quiet way. No one wants to put their voice out, simply because China is having money and China has promised a lot, yeah, to African countries. That's why our leaders all of a sudden they are at mute. Nobody wants to say something about what is happening, even though we know and we see this is not right, something is wrong. So I'm just appealing to the African group, to the African people, that we need to take care of ourselves at some point, because really, if you look at what is happening around, you may see that it is going to be very difficult if you look for the help coming from those people that are up there. It's not a matter of changing who is leading, because the system does not, changing a person does not change the system. What needs to be changed is the system of how we operate, how we do things in Africa. That is the major pandemic before we even talk of any pandemic. Corruption is rooted, but somewhere, somehow, somebody come and taught these people corruptions. Because to be honest, in China there is corruption, in America there is corruption, in Britain there is corruption, everywhere, all over the globe there is corruption. But the level of corruption that we see big companies do in Africa is at another level. You understand? So the system of Africa is rotten. In other words, that's where we need to start with. It's not about who's leading. It's not, because as long as everybody is still locked in debts with these big giant monetary companies, nothing is going to happen, because Africa will remain in a junk state, if I may to say. And some of the African countries, they are not even allowed to borrow money, you see. So this is how bad this thing is. But Julius Malema, at least he warned people about Chinese. So we're just praying that whatever is happening in China, China needs to revisit whatever they are doing with our fellow brethren, African people in China. Because right now, as I'm talking, we have more than over 1 million Chinese living in Africa. And in return, we have given them almost 200,000. And if you see the difference, it's not even it does not make sense. So their relationship is not that fine if you are to put it in a comparison. So we are saying, for the few Africans that you have there in China, please keep them well, as we are keeping Chinese in Africa. We are not even doing harm to them. We are trying to love as much as we can, but don't give us the reason to go mad in these times. So please keep our brothers safe. Do not evacuate them. If the way that things are being done is not that good, they are humans. They have got rights. Even in China, they have got rights. So we are just appealing to you guys. Stay safe wherever you are. Thank you.